Hey everybody, it's Wahome from Wahome Gitonga Coaching. Hope you're all doing really well. Welcome back to another episode of Business Conversations, where we interview the most successful people from across various industries, from business owners to entrepreneurs to coaches to personal trainers and a variety of successful people. Now today we're delighted to have Osei, and she's an IVF consultant, and she's specializes in helping women deal with IVF. And she's going to be sharing us today her experience of how she's managed to create a successful business, and also just sharing any wisdom that she's picked up along the way. So without any further ado, let me welcome Jo. Hey everyone, hey Sunny. Hey Jo,
Hi, Wahome. How are you?
fine and you? Really good to
I'm
have
good,
you.
thank you.
Okay, so we'll dive into the first question. So
Yeah.
tell us about yourself. What is your background and how did you get into your business?
Well, thanks for having me, first of all. And I really like the introduction. I wish I was a consultant, but unfortunately, I'm not an IVF consultant. But basically, what I do, I help other women who are struggling to conceive, and is such a delicate topic. Like,
Mm,
it's not talked about today, but I help people who are struggling, and it's because of from my experience. So that's what I do. Who I am, I'm a mom, I'm
mm.
a wife, and the rest.
So what's the main idea behind your business that you decided to create it?
So basically, Wahome, it was such a heartbreaking process to go through IVF. And even when you're through IVF, you still have to deal with the side effects. So research has compared IVF to something like having a terminal illness, like
Mm,
cancer, like AIDS, that kind of terminal illness. So imagine feeling like that. So I've been through, I was through that. We're trying to conceive for 7 years and nothing happened. And we decided to go and seek some further help, and we were recommended IVF. Until that time, I really didn't know what IVF was. I was so ignorant. I'd never heard of
mm,
it. And so we started on this journey. And as I came to the end of my journey, I found out that a lot of women struggle with infertility. And I think research says one in 10 couples will struggle with infertility.
mm,
But this was not common knowledge. No one wants to talk about it. I say it like this, like, you become part of a club that nobody wants to be part of. And from that, from my experience of how lonely that journey was, I mean, I'm still on the journey. The journey never finishes.
mm.
I decided to really start something to support women who are really, really struggling. Because when you think about IVF, there is a medical side to it, but there's also an emotional side to it. And that's where it's very, very difficult for people to come to terms with. And that's why I started the business. And that's why I support women who go through IVF.
It's a really interesting story. So, obviously, there must be other people, pretty sure out there who support women with IVF, and work around that subject. So, in your
Uh,
own terms, what is it about your brand and vision that sets you out from competitors?
um, I would like to, the way I look at it is, yes, it is a competitive world, but when you actually when you look at the area I'm dealing with and what you're doing, it's more because you're dealing like with people's emotions. So what sets me apart would be I really, really, really care about these women, and plus I've actually experienced the journey. So um, I'm not talking from something I've read in the book. I'm not talking from that side of things. I've actually walked this journey. So when I'm talking to a woman, she would know that I've actually felt every feeling or every emotion that she's feeling. And I feel like that's what sets me apart is having walked in their shoes and knowing exactly what they're going through.
Yeah, I guess obviously because of the personal nature, having that experience allows
Yeah.
you to really have like a more in-depth connection with clients, so they feel that you resonate with the story.
Yeah, definitely. Because I find it very difficult. Sorry, making myself comfortable. I find it very difficult. It's like going to a financial advisor or like going to get a mortgage and somebody advises you, um, oh, like somebody advises you where to keep your money, what to do with your money, but they've never been in that position or starting a business for that matter. If you want to have a success or to
So I
ask,
think we've dropped your connection.
okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think the connection went. Yeah. So you were saying
Yeah.
about if you want to have success.
Yeah, so you go to somebody who is experienced what you're going through, or ideally you like to deal with somebody who knows what you're going through, like somebody who is experienced it, somebody who has walked that road. And I feel like that is so important, not only in coaching women through IVF, but also in life. If you want to succeed, you look at the successful people and duplicate whatever it is they're doing. You don't look at a poor person and duplicate that. So you always focus on somebody who's done it better than you.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there.
Oh,
So,
my cousin is joined. Hi, Eva.
so what do you wish you'd have known when you first started out?
um, when I first started out
Yeah, in the business. Yeah.
what I wish I knew, that I know now, that everybody's different, and my sister's watching as well. Hi, Aisha. I wish like it wasn't such. It didn't feel like I wish like women could be more open about it and not get scared, because you know the World Health Organization has called infertility a disease. So it's not something like you shy away from or you don't want to talk about. It's something you'd like um, to express. And I feel like if I knew this, I would help a lot more women. But I was so busy hiding my shame, and I didn't really start out on that note. I would start and then I would kind of hold back and say, no, no, we can't talk about that subject. That subject, we can't talk about this because people will feel embarrassed or something like that. So right now, I feel like not to be scared about infertility, that it's nothing to be afraid of. And I feel like once you take that approach to your business, it becomes better. You get to know the business better. You're no longer thinking, oh, I don't want to talk about that topic, we can't talk about that area because of that and that. You're more open, like you're not worried. That's why I wish I would have known.
Mm. And so, in terms of the business, Like, what was it kind of like as you've grown the business now? Like, you wish you'd known when you first started the business.
So what was it? Sorry, say that again.
So, what do you, in terms of the business, what do you wish you had known that you know now when you first started the business?
What do I wish I knew? I wish I wish like because business is business,
Mm,
and at the end of the day, yes, I'm in the business of helping people. I'm in the business of supporting other women. Oh, hi, Leia. I'm in the business of supporting other women, but also it is a business at the end of the day. And you have to treat it like a business because it's a very, very emotional journey. It's a very, very difficult area to navigate. You tend not to treat it as a business. You tend, like, for example, people can call you, like, say, if they don't have an appointment to call you, they'll call you at any time. Like, say, if you're with your family or you're doing something else and you don't have enough structure. So I've had to discipline myself and make sure like everything is done in a business like manner. And even though it's a very difficult area to navigate, but you really have to be more business minded and
mm.
not to let your emotions take over. That's what I've learned, and I learned that every day actually.
Yeah, I think like discipline is a key area for any business owner to be able
Yeah,
to not only manage themselves but also to have um, like integrity and accountability, and also put in place practices that will ensure the business runs as a business.
yeah, definitely. Discipline, I'm telling you. And you know what? I just didn't wake up and I'm disciplined, even though I love this business so much. I love helping other people. I'm telling you, Wahome, if I'd never experienced what I experienced, I wouldn't care. But because I've experienced it and I know how hard it is to navigate this journey, um, I feel the most fulfilled in my life when I'm actually helping somebody.
Mm.
But there are many, many days when I'm thinking, oh, do I really have to do that live today? Or do I really have to call this person? Or do you know what I mean? So it takes discipline, and that's what I'm continuously learning.
Mm. So, what do you
Mm.
think was the biggest challenge you personally faced when you first started out, and how did you overcome it in terms of your business?
The biggest challenge was to actually tell my story
Mm.
because everybody has a story, and I felt like it was a I felt like it was a bit shameful for me to be going through the situation I was going through. Therefore, I didn't want to tell my story. And that is so, I tell you why that is very difficult, because how can you help somebody else when you're not willing to share your story? Oh, hi, Abby. So yeah, how can you help somebody else when you're not willing to share your story, when you're not willing to be honest with people? You know, it's like I felt like every time I shared my story, I was taking my clothes off and like naked to the world.
Mm.
I know it's a bit dramatic. It's a bit of a dramatic thing, but that's how it felt. And until I overcame that shame and I said, hold on 1 minute, it does not matter. Everybody has a story. And as long as you help one person out there change their lives, as long as I can help that next lady believe that it's actually possible, as long as I can help that lady like have one less stressful event in their lives, I'm happy. And because of that, I was willing to actually share my story with the world. In fact, it was published by a big magazine, IVF Bubble. And when they published it, I kind of thought, okay, Now the whole world knows.
Mm.
No, there's nowhere to run. So I kind of felt a bit much happier. But yeah.
I think what you highlight is there is the importance of telling your story in terms of branding, because you are the brand and people are going to resonate with your story and
Mm.
feel that you get them, that you're someone that they can trust to buy from. And so it's important that people are able to have a compelling story that clients can connect with.
Definitely, definitely, because if they don't know where you've been, like I said to you in the beginning, it's a very, very emotional journey. I
Mm.
mean, we spend lots and lots of money. One cycle can cost anything like £10,000. But if you were to ask me, I mean, I went for like 5 cycles. And if you were to ask me what was the hardest thing while you're going through IVF, I'll categorically say it was dealing with my emotions. So it wasn't so much about the money. Yes, the money is a lot, and when it's not successful, you lose it. And it wasn't so much about that. It was dealing with my mental, how can I say? It was dealing with my mind.
Mm.
Like it was so hard. It is such a hard thing to explain, but that was my hardest challenge. And if every woman I speak to, and I've spoken to many, I ask them, what has been your hardest challenge throughout this journey? And everybody says it's being on this emotional roller coaster and not knowing when to actually get off. Like every stage is an emotion to deal with, every stage, and there are so many. So I mean, that's why I say to them, if you're not mentally prepared, do not start IVF. IVF is not something you can just walk in and just feel like, yeah, it's just getting a few injections. This is more of a mental thing
Mm.
than a physical thing. The medicine will do its part, but your mind has to be 100% ready. And if you're not ready, you'll soon find out. So that's when I come in and support women. We prepare 3 months before they start. We are practicing during IVF. We are going through. We are strengthening the mind. It's like, think about it like taking a holistic approach than taking a medical approach. Yes, it's a
Mm.
very medical procedure, but we forget you're dealing with a person, so it's a body, mind, and spirit thing. So everything has to be in alignment, and that's where you have to be very focused and have a lot of clarity on where you want to go and what you want.
Mm. So how's the business grown over the past few months?
It has actually grown a lot purely because during the COVID-19, a lot of cycles were cancelled and a lot of women needed more support because obviously cycles were cancelled abruptly. Some people were in the middle of their cycles, or some people were about to start, and it just brought such a negative feeling to them because like I get messages from people, I'm depressed, I don't know what to do. So I mean, COVID-19 has has seen a lot of cycles cancelled, and because of that has seen a lot of people needing more support. And obviously now people have got more time. You know what it is like. I know
Mm.
like before COVID-19, it was all up and go. Some of us have full-time jobs as well as running a business on the side and managing a home and stuff like that. So you hardly ever got time. So, but now we are at home, people have got more time to find more help, to get more support and things like that. So I find that there's a lot of people who need support around this time.
So what's the unique skill that's allowed you to become successful?
One of the most unique skills is being approachable. I feel like I can connect to people emotionally, and I think that is because I kind of not subconsciously connect with them, but I kind of with them on a level that they actually understand. And of course, another skill I've really had to develop is discipline. And I get coaching from Ross. He's one of my coaches, and I've rang him so many times. And I said, "This is what I want. Can you help me?" And so it's not just it hasn't been like me just waking up and starting this business. There is a lot of support behind me, like people who are supporting me, people who are helping me and advising me. And I remember one day I spoke to him and I said, "Ross, I'm really struggling to balance business and my personal work, and obviously being a partner, being a mom." And then Ross goes to me, "Tell me how you start your day." So I explained to him, and he said, "No, Joanita, this is what we're going to do. You're going to focus. So what you're going to do is, where is your attention? Where you focus your attention, so then if you focus your attention on something that you want to achieve, there will be no tension." So I started using that, and it's put it like this. I know I'm going off a bit, but put it like this. It's like building very little small habits every day. So it said we need to look after the body, we need to look after the mind, and we need to look after your physical side. So I'll wake up in the morning, I'll get some time for meditation, I'll get some time for stretching, and I'll make sure I'm eating right. So it's been a very it's been a very painful journey to speak, because I've had to apply a lot of discipline. So I just don't wake up every day and feel like doing a live video, wake up every day and feel like everything is going great. It just doesn't happen like that. So every day it's been like practicing these very small habits that actually are helping me develop and rewire my brain, if you want to say it like that. But practicing something daily, eventually you start to believe it. It's like, I don't know, it's like practicing gratitude. Like, you don't know how much powerful that is until you start to practice it. So it's very small habits. Call it like habit stacking. It's very small habits that help you become a very successful person. So you don't become successful overnight, but you practice very small habits to get to where you want to be. That's how I do it, like breaking it in very small chunks.
So what is it that motivates you and drives you going forward?
What motivates me and drives me to go forward is the passion I've got for what I do. I actually like literally love helping people. If anyone who knows me will know that I love helping other people. I thrive about helping other people, and thank goodness that I'm in the business of helping people. So that really fries me. I feel like I've said this I've said this at the beginning, but I feel more fulfilled when I'm actually helping somebody, when when I'm helping somebody, when I'm giving back, you know. um Life is so short, I don't know how COVID-19 has affected you. Today, I had to attend a funeral virtually for a friend of mine. And, when you attend things like that, I knew this friend, I'd just seen them at a wedding, like, I think last year, towards the end of last year. And when I had a call that he passed away, I couldn't believe it. But so when I attended that funeral, I thought to myself, what is it? What impact do I want to leave on this world? And that's a question like I feel like we have to ask ourselves, what impact do you really want to leave on this earth? So everybody does their bit. People are like, he's gone, he's not here, but you're still here. And it's such a shame that sometimes it takes events like that to make us become present, to be in a present moment, to actually sit back and think, what is it like when I die? Because death is inevitable. What is it when I die that I want to be remembered? Like, what is it I want to be remembered from? Like, not from. Like, what do I want? What would I like people to remember me as? And when I asked myself that question, I thought, you know what? Giving back and helping other people, that will make me so happy. There is nothing more rewarding and fulfilling as helping somebody else overcome something that you overcame, and you give them the tools. I've not seen anything as rewarding as that.
What do you think has been the key to building a strong relationship with clients?
The key is being honest, and giving time for clients to talk, because the business I'm in is IVF is a very difficult thing to go through, and a lot of people won't understand it. If I came and told you about IVF, you would be sympathetic, but you wouldn't understand it. And because of it, because of what women go through, and like they can't talk to anyone, like there is still a big stigma out there. People are very, very it's a very lonely thing to go through, and people, women in particular, can't really go for a cup of coffee and start talking to other people who haven't experienced IVF and talk to them about it. So I find that has really, really helped me build relationships, like getting to know people, finding out what their stories are, and actually just being honest with people. I tell to people, I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not a consultant. I can't increase your chances of IVF, but I'll tell you this: if we can eliminate stress is like the number one killer. Like, I feel like, is it 95% of, I wrote it down somewhere, I've lost it, but I feel like stress is one of the major killers. It's one of the major causes of diseases. In fact, it's a cause of infertility in itself. So where medication helps us, we've also got to help ourselves. And stress is so damaging to our bodies. And if you learn how to deal with stress, you can't eliminate stress. Some stress is good, but in the Western world now, it's too much stress, and people are finding it very difficult to handle stress. And so if I help people deal with stress, it helps them go through their journey. I mean, they will encounter stress. I'm not saying that you can literally eliminate stress, but you can't eliminate it. But once you've got the tools to deal with it, it makes your journey a lot easier. And that's one of the most important things I tell women. And to find out what's blocking them, because sometimes it might not even be medical, because how do we end up with infertility? It might not be it. When we go to the medical world, they will give it a label, but when we sit down and actually start to go inside and get the answers, 9 times out of 10 it will help us. So
Mm. Yeah, actually, I think what you touched upon is really understanding your clients, their needs and the pains they're going through, and then having that emotional connection.
Mm,
I think that is a key aspect of any business, to have
mm,
that link with their clients.
mm.
So I think that's an important point you mentioned. So what advice would you give someone who's looking to start a business, but they're too scared to make that first step?
Um, do you know what? The best advice I'll give somebody is to start with a why.
Mm,
Once you start with a why, once you know why you're doing something, it doesn't matter what comes along the way, you always have the why. You know why you're doing something, and that will pull you through. When you look at the greatest leaders, the greatest people who have achieved massive success, they've always started with the why, not the how. Because once you start with the how, you never
mm,
start that business, because you wouldn't know like how to start a business because you don't know. But once you've got the why, it's funny how the universe will align everything that you need. You get the coaching, you get the support. I mean, there is a lot that is involved in starting a business. But once you've got the why, I feel like everything else falls in place. So my advice will be like, if you've got a dream, don't give up.
mm. And that's
Like,
beautiful.
follow your dream, follow your passion, and let the universe deal with the how. You follow your why, and then let it unfold day by day.
Totally agree with that.
Mm.
So what do you think is the most common reason why most people give up or fail to grow their business?
Um, I feel like one of the most common reasons why we give up, like I'll put myself in that bracket as well, because I've started so many businesses, then I've stopped, then I'll start, then I'll stop. Is we don't have the why, we don't know why
Mm,
we are starting it. And the other reason, we don't take action. Just because you know the why, it doesn't mean you shouldn't take small actions. Like, what actions are you taking? Like, what are you imagining? Like, you want your business to be like. You cannot just sit there and wait for things to happen. You've got to take action. It's so important. And because when you don't take action, you start to doubt yourself. And once you start to doubt yourself, everything, like, you focus on a completely different area of life you don't want. And because where your focus, because energy goes where your focus is, all your energy will go where your focus is. And because you're not focused on what you want, you get more of what you don't want. Do you get my point? Where
yeah.
whatever you focus on, you get. So what I'm telling people is, try and focus on what is it you want, get your why in place, and then take massive action. Whatever action means to you. Action might be, I mean, I don't know, whatever business you want to be in, but action might be getting up that extra hour early in the morning and calming yourself down, getting your stress levels down. Action might be to work out like 5-10 minutes in the morning. Whatever action, don't get me wrong, your personal life and your business are not two different things. If you're not looking after your personal life and you're not eating well, you're not sleeping well, you're not exercising your mind, it's going to affect your business in return. So better to balance everything and develop your business as a whole.
Mm. Totally agree with you on that. I think that's like some good advice there in terms of taking action and having a clear understanding of your why. So we can't not talk about COVID-19 because it's
Mm,
affecting many businesses. Like, businesses are going out of business, people are experiencing financial difficulties, and it's caused many industries to have to adapt how they communicate and get their message out and provide a service. Like, how have you had to adapt in order to remain competitive during this lockdown?
Um, it's funny enough because most of my business was done online anyway. So it was because I've got clients all over the place. Like it's always done online. So in that sense of communication, a lot hasn't changed. But how I've had to adapt, because sometimes I was thinking about meeting people and getting to do it different. Like say when I arrange a meeting, uh, if you live in the UK, I was planning on maybe starting to meet people, getting to know people better, and things like that. So it has affected me, but my business was mainly online anyway. So what is really re-emphasized is the way to communicate, because before, when you used to call people on WhatsApp, maybe people or WhatsApp or Zoom or Teams, whatever you use to talk to people, maybe some people didn't understand it. So but what this really is helped open people's eyes on, like, on an alternative way of communicating. And I feel like it was really emphasized the communication channels that I was already using.
Mm.
So that's how I feel like it's affected my business. It's really re-emphasized the communication channels.
Yeah, I think it's vitally that people now are ramping up their communication and increasing that engagement with their clients to know that they're still there
Yeah.
to help, and so the clients don't feel they're on their own.
Yeah.
So what's the key that allows you to stay motivated when times are hard? Because for a lot of people, it's very easy for them to become dismotivated, become like fall into procrastination. So what's your key to stay motivated in hard times?
Oh gosh, I can be, I can guarantee, you can be guaranteed that I've really had times when I just felt like doing nothing. There are times when I've just felt like sitting down and just watching Netflix all day. So, but one of the keys to staying motivated is actually being disciplined. It goes back to the why, and having like great coaches or great people you are accountable to. When you've got somebody you're accountable to, you will do whatever it is you said you're going to do, because you've got no other option, because it saves you the hassle of trying to explain to the
Mm.
person why you didn't do what you said you're going to do. But I feel like being disciplined has helped a lot, and that doesn't come easily for me because I'm a very, what would I call myself? I'm a very emotional person. Like, so when it becomes like discipline, like doing something, like, oh, I feel like, oh, do I really? But when I really have to do something, that I literally write down things every day. I write down my intention for that
Mm.
day. And once I write my intention for that day, I pay attention to it. And once I pay attention to it, then I don't have any tension. Did you get my point?
Mm.
So that's what I really, really do most of the times, is really staying disciplined. Even if you do the little things, you don't have to be out and do like massive things, massive jumps that you're going to give up tomorrow. But if you start off with a small thing and you develop that habit slowly by slowly, it really, really has helped me. I'll give you an example. I think I've given it already. I really hate exercises. Like, I really don't like them. And I was thinking, so before COVID-19, I started going to the gym. I'll go to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning. And because when I got there, everybody there had the same goal. like they had a goal for whatever their goal was, but everybody was working towards that goal. So when I got there, I had no option but to work towards my goal. I couldn't just sit down and watch them. I had to work towards my goal because I was already there. So when this COVID-19 happened, I thought, great, now what am I gonna do? So I spoke to I think I spoke to Ross and I said, like, I don't know what to do, because don't forget, business is not just showing up to your clients and getting this and that. You also have to you also have to be fulfilled before you actually give anything, and exercise is a very important part to that. So I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So I started off doing 10 minutes every day, 12 minutes. And that was so achievable that I've actually, I recorded, I don't know where I put, I've probably, oh, it's there. Let me show you in my book. I literally, I've managed to achieve that. Just bear with me, I'm coming.
Sure.
There, I'm back. So I've literally managed to achieve what it is that I intend to do. So every day for the last month, I was writing in my journal. So this is my journal. It's a 5-year journal. And I feel like since I've had it, only around this COVID-19 that I've been able to literally complete a whole month. Doing what it is that I said I was going to do. Even though I hated exercise, I've literally managed to do 12 minutes every day. So it's starting very, very small and setting yourself very achievable targets or very achievable goals, and watch what happens. These kind of things, they spill out in the business, in your personal life, in your finances. These small habits, like good habits you're building. So that's what I do. So I journal everything.
I love that. So
Yeah.
what's been the biggest failure that you've had the last year since when you started, and why do you think it happened?
One of the biggest failure is it's been not to follow through. And I felt like I did. And I think this goes back to like the beliefs we have as growing up, and I felt like I didn't want to charge any money, but I wanted to offer my support for free. And even though it was costing me a lot of time, it was costing me money as well, but I felt like I couldn't bring myself to charge these people because they're suffering. And I thought to myself, hold on 1 minute. At the end of the day, I'm offering a service. And sometimes, I don't know if it happens to you, if somebody gives me something for free, I'll hardly pay attention to it, or I will pay attention, but I don't know how the mind works. If you're paying for something, you're bound to follow through. And I felt like giving all these things away for free, it wasn't benefiting my clients. In fact, I was doing a disservice to them because they were not taking that information seriously, or they were not motivated to do anything because it cost them nothing, So I feel like that has been one of my biggest failures, is putting a value on my service.
I like that. What do you think are the biggest challenges facing your industry going forward?
There are many.
Let's give us one big challenge.
Okay, one of the biggest challenges, and which an advocate for, and this has been held by the lots of celebrities, by the likes of Gabrielle Union and Amy Schumer, coming out and outrightly saying, hey, look, it happens to us too. And I felt like that has been a challenge in the IVF. No one wanted to admit that they actually are struggling to conceive. And it felt so shameful, like even up to this day. And I feel like until women embrace it and overcome that fear, that will still be a challenge, because there's a lot of people who emotionally suffer because they can't talk to anyone about it. And if they do talk to somebody about it, people don't understand, because it's they see it as shameful. And I feel like that is such a shame, because if somebody's going through a terminal illness, say like cancer or AIDS, they're not shameful, they're not scared. They will talk about what they're going through, and they won't feel like they are judged. But when you talk about infertility and IVF, people will say like the most throwaway comments, and oh, it's so much money, why don't you do this, and why. So I feel like that is one of the biggest challenges, people to embrace infertility. And for those who are not going through it, is to educate themselves about it, because it's not actually it's not actually a shameful thing. It can happen to anyone. Like I said, statistics, 1 in 10 couples will suffer from infertility. It just so happens that you become that couple and you're not prepared for it. So I feel like education, people having the knowledge about it, is the biggest challenge facing the industry. But it's getting better, because there's a lot of celebrities that have come out and have put their hands up, like Kim Kardashian, Gabrielle Union, and Amy Schumacher. So it's getting better. The awareness is coming, but it's just very slow.
So are there any resources that really helped you along the way on your journey?
Yeah, and I elaborate this. Like I've recently written a book, and also I talk about it in my story. Like I said to you at the beginning, I feel like mindset was everything, but isn't it everything in life, really and truly, when you look at it? But because you're going through a very, very tough situation, you have to have a strong mindset. And that was one of the things that helped me, was to cultivate a strong mindset. And that took ages, because I remember when the first cycle didn't work, I felt completely lost. I didn't know what to do, because I had never experienced failure to that level. To me, it looked like failure. Right now, when I reflect back, it actually wasn't. It was probably one of the best lessons I've ever learned. But back then, it looked like failure, until I kind of had to get mentally strong and get my mind strong, and that took some time, and it's something I work on every day. It's not like you get mentally strong and that's it, boom. I still have moments where I feel like everything is coming back, and all the failures, all the fear, all the uncertainty. But the only difference now, I've actually got the tools to deal with it. That's the only difference. So I would say mindset. Once you've got a strong mindset, you can handle anything in life. And everything begins with a thought. Everything begins with a thought. So, I mean, what do you do? But if you don't know you're going through this hard time, you focus on the hard times, and you wonder why you get more of the hard times, or the things that you actually don't want, because maybe we are wired that way. Like, you don't know, but once you actually do know that you can come out of that state and get into another state, once you do know that it's actually a choice that you can make, it makes things very, very easy. And that is the number one thing. And I'm such a strong believer in mindset. I believe mindset is everything.
I totally agree with you. So we know what you are good at. What's one thing personally you're not good at?
Um, That's a very, very good question. Let me think. I'm good at everything. Nah, that's a lie. I'm not good at I'm very good at like starting relationships, doing that. When it becomes to actually doing the businessy things, like sitting down and crunching the numbers and ugh, the accounting side, like literally accounting bores me to death. Like I'm not good with numbers when it comes to that, but it's something I'm learning. And my sister is an accountant, so she really helps me. And yeah, I really struggle with things like that, like the business, the actual side of things, like apart from talking to somebody, developing relationships, that I like. When it comes to the number stuff, I don't like.
So, two questions in one, this next part. So,
Yeah.
the first part is what's next for you? And the second part is how can people work with you and reach out to you?
Okay. So what is next for me? What I really want is to continue with awareness and like make sure that women are no longer feeling isolated in their journeys. That is one of the most important things for me, is to continue with the awareness of infertility. And wherever that journey takes me, I don't know. I've got the why. I'll leave the how. Like I don't know how it's all going to unfold, but that is what I really want to continue, and obviously to continue building a very successful business and help a lot of people as much as I can. And what was the other question? Sorry.
The other one was how can people work with you and reach you?
I'm on Instagram. I think my Instagram name is Joe IVF Support, and on Facebook, I run a Facebook group that is really growing, and a lot of women are getting more value out of that. Unfortunately, it's only a group for people going through IVF and experiencing that, because I felt like it will only be fair, because then women will be able to open up on what they're going through and what they can do. And obviously, if you're out there and you're struggling to conceive or you don't know where to start, that is also a good group to be part of. And yeah, I'm very social. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm all over the place.
Perfect. So I'd recommend obviously anyone who's dealing with IVF or around these issues to reach out to Jo, and she'll be able to help you. So what's one final piece of advice you would give to people wanting to create a business?
One final piece of advice I'll give to people to create a business would be the same advice I've said earlier, is always to have the why and have a passion for doing what you're doing. Because if you're not passionate about what you do, it's soon gonna look like work. And to be honest, like 99% of the people don't like the work, don't love their jobs. So you don't want to be in that bracket. But if it's something you're passionate about, like business is not all glitz and glam. There are moments where you're going to feel very isolated, very lonely. You're going to work, like, but if you know why you're doing something, if you know why and you're passionate about it, I feel like you more or less make it in business. And obviously, like, seek somebody who can help you, like somebody who has achieved the success you want. Like, successful people don't just happen overnight. They do get a lot of coaching. They do get a lot of support. Oh, my sister, hi, Lara. They do get a lot of support and help from around the world. And invest in yourself. Like, and when I say invest, because sometimes Wahome will pay to go to university, we pay to get a degree, we pay to get a lot of things. And when it comes to investing in yourself and getting your desires or getting your passion done, you wouldn't want to do that. You'd be scared. You wouldn't say, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. But once you know why you're starting something and you've got the passion and you know the end goal, I feel like you more or less make it. And it doesn't matter what business. This applies to any business. You might not be in a business of helping people. You might be in a different business, but you still have to know why. You still have to have passion. You still have to have great mentors. You still have to invest in that education to get yourself better, to learn what you don't like. It's like I told you, I don't like numbers and stuff like that, but I still have to invest in myself and get the help and the support that I need to build a successful business. So, yeah, that would be my last tip.
A lot of good information there. I'll just add to people, make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people.
Definitely.
And reach out to people who are successful,
Yeah.
or join business networks, or networks out there that can really guide you and give you support that you need.
Yeah.
So to end on there, it's been a pleasure interviewing you, Joe, and we look forward to your success over the next year, because we can definitely feel that you're going to go far.
Very much.
Yeah, wish you the best of luck with that. And for everyone else watching, have a great evening, and there'll be more business conversations coming up soon. And for you, Joe, wish you all the best and have a great evening, and we'll speak soon.
You too. Thank you, Wahome.
Thanks, Joe.
How do I leave?
I'll end it now. I'll shut it.